reenact all kinds of Lord of the Rings scenarios, and like these fields we'd go to with our dog, and we'd give them some name that would sound like it came from Middle Earth, you know. And it was just a whole world to explore. It was a whole vibe, and it really goes to show how culture is kind of the same way. As we grow up, like, we are a lot like the people around us. We kind of talk the same, even similar mannerisms. And of course, everyone has their own uniqueness, and it kind of varies or is displayed in a different way. But that's why some of the most intelligent people I know have traveled so much and have experienced all kinds of cultures and ways of talking, communicating, and like different etiquette and like a way to say things. Yeah, there's just so many varieties of personas, and I don't know, just like different vibes, different archetypes. I talk a lot about archetypes because there's like, you know, there's different kinds of people. There's people with jive and attitude and slang, and they like Mac Miller, he was a vibe, you know, like there's all kinds of different cool ways of being, and it's like we attach to those things we like. It's like we are made up of everything, pieces of everything we know and everything we love, because we adopt the things we love as like, oh, that's what I'm all about, or whatever, like that gets me, that's and anyway, it's just an interesting thing, how much we just conform to things naturally. And I've never really felt like I ever really completely conformed with any particular place I lived. Like maybe a little bit in the small logger town where I finished high school, the graduating class of 26. It was just really simple, and actually people were pretty nice there, and it was just a simple way of life. And it's like the world seems scary, like it's like the city is a scary place to people who live in more rural areas, because they're like, oh my god, all the criminals live there and blah blah blah, and there's all these murderers, and, you know. And then I lived in the city, and they think the same thing about the country folk. They're like, oh, those, you know, rednecks out there, you could just go missing one day or whatever, you know. So it's always like the grass is greener on the other side of the fence sometimes, but other times it's like we can have the impression where it's like, oh, we have it so much better than those poor folks or whatever, and then they think the same thing of us. But it's, you know, falling in love with the land that you grew up in, and I still have that, but the culture, I'm just not much of a conformist culture, although I will talk a lot like my friends. I'll use the same kind of jive and lingo and slang, you know, just for funsies. It's fun to talk with different personas, and play different characters or whatever. I do that with Lord of the Rings still with my friends, and we like pretend like we're hobbits or something, you know. It's fun. But yeah, I just brought that up because I think it's really strange. I haven't really adopted a certain style. I kind of am a little bit of a outsider, I feel like, in every place I've lived. And there's nothing wrong with that. It just is what it is. It's no big deal. It's kind of special, and it's also a little lonely. But also I relate with a lot of people, and a lot of people relate with me on a lot of things. Just like being human and the frustrations of society in this world we live. Like we can just have an unconventional approach to a lot of things. I don't know. I kind of developed a problem with authority figures sometimes, as far as being compliant with people in leadership who are actually like not aware of something, and they think that they're it's like loving mother hen, and like this is the right thing to do, but they're actually like making it worse. Like that's such a horrible thing, and it happens a lot. It's like there's this whole image that they have of themselves as the loving government that wants, it's like safety and peace and protection for all, and it's like yet they don't. It's like our healthcare system's all effed up, and there isn't a place in society for a lot of people. The economy's going down the tubes, and it just gets harder and harder for people. Like it's like minimum wage should be at least like 20 an hour. Like no one should be expected to live, especially with the cost of living. Like no one should be expected to like work for less than that. Like that's just, they call it entitlement, but I think it's just fucking decency. Like it's like we all deserve to be at least wealthy enough to have like a roof over our heads and a family and personal space, personal time, and also communal time, and also intimate time, and like we all deserve these things. And it's like just because there's it's like there is enough to go around. I really think there is. It's just the way things are set up, it doesn't appear to be that way. So it's more of a Lord of the Flies kind of situation here, right? People just trying to get on top, and they'll push other people down to drown so that they don't drown. And it's just kind of a sad world like that. But if we work together, we can stay afloat even better.